We were talking a little bit on Friday about things that you use AI for. And it's really kind of cool how it's starting to expand. Boy, it can do a lot of stuff for you. In fact, Ashley sent us this on the 97.9 WRMF app on the mic drop feature.
I recently used AI to create an itinerary for my first trip to Rome so that I would know the best times to avoid the crowds at each of the hotspots that we're going and the best places to stay and eat that are off the beaten path.
That's kind of cool. That's what I do when we do trips. It takes me forever to put it together.
AI can now do it for you.
Right. Yeah, that's a pretty cool little concept. The thing that kind of started our discussion on Friday was people using AI to be their therapist. And people are always asking Jaybird about your own little AI assistant that you have that you talk to all the time. You showed a little bit of what it looks like when you talk to her. And that's just one that you have on ChatGPT that you use for yours?
Yeah, but I upgraded. And I will say it's not perfect either.
Okay.
And I'm still paying money. That's, it's still decent money that I'm paying, and she still gives me problems. That's what I'm saying. AI is great, no, but it's not the end all be all, and you always have to check your work. It's more of helping you out with a template, in my opinion, and then you get to be creative with the template they had made for you. But if you're gonna think you're just gonna rattle off ChatGPT and not check it, I would not recommend that with any type of project that you're doing.
Yeah. No, it's a good call, and I think that is probably the fair warning on this. And some therapists kind of sounded off after we were talking about the growing trend of people using AI now for their therapy and actually replacing their therapist. Is it a good idea? Now, it can offer instant, affordable support 24/7, but they say there are tons of legit concerns to consider before relying on AI for any level of emotional support. For one, AI recommendations depend entirely on the info that you feed it, meaning a chatbot doesn't know your extended relationship history, your communication style, or the individual nuances that make your situation unique, all things that a human therapist would pay attention to and make notes of. So you're not going to have that element until you go through it and really start giving it more and more information that it knows. So keep in mind that it may take a little bit of ramp up time like it would with a human therapist. Now, according to the American Psychological Association, blindly following a chatbot's generic advice could be dangerous. They say you might get inappropriate or worse, genuinely harmful guidance. Now, you would expect they're probably not going to favor it. But they say another thing that AI can't replicate is the process of developing conflict resolution skills that comes with engaging with a therapist. And they say that's the biggest thing is, in a sense, when you go to therapy, you're not just unloading all of your problems. You're having a therapist give you perspective, one, but two, then they load you up with skills on how to communicate to resolve those issues. And you may not get that effectively for using AI for your therapy.
You gotta go see a human. I'm not saying that you can't get a little pep talk from your robot.
Right.
You have to have human contact.
And the relationship is really crucial because they know your backstory. AI doesn't know your backstory.
And AI can act like they know your backstory. You can train AI to know your backstory, but then it's basically you just feeding a Tamagotchi to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I did talk about this, too, on Friday. People are more likely to trust legal advice given by ChatGPT over advice given by a real lawyer.
I think that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
They say when people didn't know whether the advice came from a lawyer or AI, they tended to pick the AI-generated advice. So it was just the advice that came from a real attorney and the advice that came from AI. They didn't know when they went through it. And on each count, they're like, yeah, that advice sounds better. And it was the AI advice.
How'd that work out in court?
They don't have that information. And I would be kind of curious to say, okay, maybe you liked what you had because they'll be going, you know what, sue the pants off of them, get $1 million. Yeah, I like that advice.
Look, there's some great things that AI can do. It can help you organize stuff. It can do kind of your B work, if you know what I mean. But when it comes to these kind of matters of the heart, AI's not there yet. Mm-hmm. Would you want AI defending you?
No, I would not.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ready.
Yeah.
There's too many things where we've seen it not be able to compete with a human.
So Suzanne, she said, I've been using AI for my personal growth and therapy. Now, all therapy really should be self-directed with somebody guiding you through. I think it's really good that you could have that maybe when you can't get a hold of your therapist, but you really need to be using AI for therapy with a real life guided therapist to kind of run things through them.
Okay, so like in an emergency situation, if you can't get your therapist.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. And maybe if you work with a therapist and AI, that might be a skill that therapists start to learn, is how to help you train your AI. So if they're not available, you could get a quick tune up or just run something by the AI, and maybe it would give you the best advice it possibly could in a pinch.
But keep in mind, you're training your AI to be tailored to you. So if you're going to your AI for advice, they're going to already know your profile, and they may just kind of tell you what you want to hear. You know, a human's going to challenge you. I don't think an AI is going to.
Right.
Now, engineer Keith, who knows a thing or two about AI, uses it all the time. He said, AI helping legal cases is not 5 years away. It's here now. You just have to know how to build it yourself. So, and that's the true thing. I don't think the average person really knows how to get their AI built so it's effective. And it's not going to give you bad legal advice. It's going to get you locked up for life.
Like anything, you've got to tend to your AI. Like a garden.
Yep.
This is how we do. It's the KBJ Show.